An exorcism was performed on this house and it failed. Welcome to the Hinsdale House, the scariest house in all of America. Now, the story of the Hinsdale House is a very, very interesting one. This place is located in Hinsdale, New York, upstate New York, near Buffalo, and there have been a number of tragedies and stories associated with this property. For example, a child on a nearby farm was killed by a buzzsaw early in the 1900s. Two brothers were arguing in the forest behind the home one day when one brother took a shotgun and shot his brother, killing him. There's a tree on the front of the property that was allegedly used to hang people, including a famous hanging of a pregnant woman. And some of the earliest people that lived in the house are suspected to be serial killers. Yes, the current owner, Dan, has found bodies buried in the back part of the property. They still haven't figured out who the bodies belong to. They only know that they're there because they've taken out ground penetrating radar and figured out that there were bodies. They're working on getting them checked out and everything. But none of this even includes the exorcism and the possession of the Dandy family. Now, in the 1970s, kind of like something out of The Conjuring, the Dandy family moved into the Hinsdale house. And they experienced all sorts of violent paranormal activity. There would be swarms of bugs that would appear. They couldn't get any sleep. People were getting scratched, pushed, screamed at. And this was such a terrifying haunting that they sought the help of a local priest, Father Alphonsus, pictured right here. Now, he came in and performed what's known as a structural exorcism on the property. With the whole family present, this is widely documented. They even had a film crew from a New York university come out and film this entire process. And after this structural exorcism was completed, the film crew members swore they would never return to the property because of what they had seen and what they had heard during that process. Now, sadly, this exorcism failed. Only a short while after the exorcism, one of the family members ended up hanging herself. And the surviving members of the family to this day will tell you that this was the scariest thing they've ever experienced, and they wouldn't wish this on their worst enemy. There are also indigenous burial mounds just located right past the property line. So this place is like a gigantic vortex of just negative, strange energy. People have even reported seeing pukwudgies, wendigos, and skinwalkers in the woods surrounding the house. Obviously, I'm a paranormal investigator. I had to check the place out. I actually spent the night there back in March of this year, and let me tell you, it was one of the scariest experiences we've ever had. It was a totally different type of haunting, a different type of energy that just got into your mind. It works into your mind. It gives you violent thoughts, angry thoughts. And when I was sitting upstairs in the home where allegedly an investigator at one point had his eyes roll back into his head and his eyes turned black, I felt like a hand ran up my thigh and squeezed me on my buttocks. And so obviously you'd think that that one time, the scary night, would be enough. But no, we recently returned last week to investigate. And this time when we went back, we brought an actor so we could recreate the exorcism that took place back in the 1970s. And let me tell you, that's the night when all hell broke loose. The full video is going to be on my YouTube channel on Monday, so be sure you don't miss it.